Welcome back, everyone, to another reaction and review of WandaVision Episode 4. This week, Pulsey and Gator are bringing you the goods.
Yeah, after last week's interesting conclusion, we're looking forward to this newest episode. Before we get to that, let's roll the intro.
Before we get started, do us a huge favor. If you've made it this far into the video, hit that like button. We've noticed that you haven't been hitting that like button, and you'd be doing us a huge favor.
Yes, and don't forget to tap the subscribe button and ring that notification bell.
Oh, this
Okay.
coming back
Past thing?
after the snap.
Oh, the snap. Yeah, okay.
No intro.
Okay, nothing. So it is actually New Jersey, which is kind of cool. Heck, it's and stuff like that, right? So, yeah.
James E. Woo, FBI.
Oh, he's a magician, remember?
Thor, would you mind repeating your claim about Westview to my colleague here? No such place. I keep telling your G-man here, but he won't listen. I see.
Oh,
Okay.
helicopter.
Yeah.
So they were.
Sending in the drones.
Yeah.
Oh. It sucked her right in.
Darcy.
Yeah. There she is. Well, she's a doctor now. Finished her school, I guess.
Oh, another drone going in.
Yeah. Is that the chopper or is that the...
I'm afraid that's highly classified.
You can't see anything?
Oh, I see. The trailer there, right? There it ends.
I need a TV. An old one. Like, not flat.
She can watch it.
That's crazy.
So it's like they're watching the show.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Weird.
You have the beekeeper-like outfit then, right?
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Someone must really miss you back at Quantico. No, sir. Softball season's over, sir.
Jeez.
Voila. Salmon picture. Good night, sir.
That'd be so crazy to see something like that,
That'd
eh?
be weird.
Say
Oh,
the
yeah.
universe created a sitcom starring two Avengers?
1950s, 1960s, and now the 70s. Why does it keep switching time periods? It can't be purely for my enjoyment, can it?
I believe WandaVision Jimmy Woo got a tiny little FBI badge. Yeah, sure.
It'd be so bizarre if they were just sitting there watching this, eh?
Twins. What a twist. Someone is censoring the broadcast.
But where's Rambeau?
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, so we didn't see this angle last week. Oh, wow.
Ouch.
Definitely a little more vicious than we saw from last week. Is she all messed up is the question here.
Will she remember anything?
Well, yeah. Oh.
What is it? What's wrong?
That's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
You could go away. Yeah.
I have everything under control.
Oh, boy.
Losing
Yeah.
her shit.
Yeah.
I saw Wanda.
Okay.
So now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Things are starting to come together, and we're understanding where everything is going,
Mm-hmm.
and that Wanda is completely in control.
Yeah. You know, a couple of things that struck me interesting on it. No name for the episode, just episode 4. I don't know if they're going to name it later, but every other episode had names. So that's interesting. And we didn't get that carry on 50s, 60s, 70s. Now we were kind of present time, right? Which is interesting. So we didn't get an intro, which was the thematic way they went for the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, it looks like this was an episode just to kind of start explaining stuff to us because there's a lot of guesswork going on, and I'm sure they'll get back to that. I'm sure there's going to be some more episodes because how do you get into the 80s or 90s or however far they're going to go with these episodes because you only have so many episodes to do it in, and they got to explain what's happening and try and, I guess, get through to her. But yeah, now we're starting to see what happened with all these little clues that were popping up in the previous episodes, like the helicopter, the beekeeper.
That beekeeper was cool.
Yeah,
just changed. All of a sudden, you're going through, and he was something different.
And then how the tie was turned into a skipping rope.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
And then everything that's going back out is still looking like it was inside that force field.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's kind of neat. And then getting Darcy back.
Yeah.
And she's the one who figures out the frequency and that they're watching a show, and that's how they're figuring things out. And that is really weird. And I never would have seen it going that way.
Yeah.
I could. It explains everything because it's like why are they doing these 50s and 60s 70s episodes of sitcoms, but they're actually being kind of broadcast and and now that they're explaining it and what it's doing, it like that she's creating her own little world.
So the only thing I wonder about it, just kind of from a theory perspective, she's controlling it. We understand that. Like they're like, oh, Wanda's doing this, Wanda's doing this. But when Darcy said like somebody's controlling the show, I wonder if there's another outside force that's controlling Wanda, who is actually, she created this world around herself, right, to deal with loss. That's what I think that with Wanda. But is somebody manipulating her? That's my question.
Well, that's what I thought from the get-go, that she was creating this world, but she was being manipulated somehow. Because there's still all these clues of Hydra and are they controlling it, or is she, because she's experienced this stuff, is she just taking her experiences and dropping it into these commercials and into these shows? I'm sure there's going to be some more twists yet.
Yeah.
I do think that she has a big, she is a big part of it. Like, she's crushed psychologically from losing vision, and I'm sure she must play a huge part, obviously, in creating this world.
Yeah.
But is she the only thing that's driving this?
Yeah, I just feel like there has to be more of the story. Like, it just seems too obvious to think that they're like, oh, Wanda's controlling it. I feel like there has to be something more to it. And, I don't know if everybody else is feeling that or, what, but.
Well, we know that we've talked about it before, that they're going towards having these multiverses. And maybe there is going to be an outside force trying to rip the seams of fabric of dimensions and time open. Maybe this is their way of introducing, say, someone like, well, I'm not exactly sure, but we might be seeing the big baddies starting to come out, the new baddies like Doctor Doom and things like that.
Yeah, well, exactly.
So who knows where it's going? Who knows what we're going to get? But like they're finally starting to explain things, and we're kind of getting a grasp on it. But it's early, so there's going to be more twists.
I love the integration of other characters from other shows. So Jimmy Woo is from Ant-Man, and Darcy Lewis is from Thor, which I think is great that they're throwing those characters. They're small characters in those movies, throwing them into another set. So it's kind of like you're really connecting the entire MCU universe together, and they all mix up with each other, right? So it makes sense when Darcy says, oh yeah, like Vision and Wanda, they're, Vision's dead. She obviously has heard about it. She knows she's immersed in that whole world, which is, I think, is super cool.
Yeah, they're bringing back in all these characters who weren't necessarily big characters in the other shows, and you kind of wonder, oh, what happened, because they kind of just disappear or whatever. But they're bringing them back in. And speaking of disappearing, it was kind of neat how we see the history of Monica Rambeau?
Monica Rambeau, yeah.
How she comes back after the snap, and how other people just started appearing, and they could do that with various other shows and things like that, but unexpected.
Yeah, and for everyone out there, if there's doesn't recall with Captain Marvel, So Monica Rambeau's mother was Maria Rambeau, who was Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers' friend from that movie. So ties it in, and obviously Monica went on to found S.W.O.R.D. and, or sorry, Maria did founded S.W.O.R.D. and then Monica obviously followed in the footsteps and worked there.
So how many years past that event would this be? Because she was the young girl in that show.
Yeah, so that was okay. So Captain Marvel was set in the '90s. So she was like what, like 8, 9, 10. I can't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
she's
So
fairly young.
she was young.
Okay, so then we're getting
Yeah,
like late 30s.
yeah. So that's exactly
Okay.
it. So she'd be part of S.W.O.R.D. and running that. So I mean, but yeah, that interesting. So the disappearing act with the whole blip or the snap, as you want to call it, showing what happened to people because people are gone and you lost time. Let's be honest, you lost 5 years of your life, really.
And
Even though you did,
for them, it was instantaneous. Basically,
Yeah.
they didn't realize all this had happened.
yeah. So she missed her mother dying. Obviously, kind of cool because you miss that thing. You see that different dynamic from just like, from what we saw in Infinity War and
Yeah, you get to see what they have, what the fallout is, and what they
Mhm.
have to deal with, having lost 5 years of their
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. So I think that's just another added element to the whole universe as a whole, which is neat. It's I don't know. I think that kind of stuff makes the storytelling awesome for the MCU. It just keeps it all connected and we talked about our DC and Marvel comparisons and where we're at there and DC's continuity seems to be all over the place, whereas Marvel has kind of taken that road where it's always kind of here and they take you a little bit here and there, but they always connect it back to the end, right? So I don't know. So I think it's a good episode. This one, I like the backstory. I think maybe that's what the fans needed. Everyone needed a little something to kind of bring it together because right now we're like, what's happening?
Well, it was kind of a like the response has been somewhat divided out there, and some people are not really enjoying it that much. But we all had to know it was leading somewhere. Like it wasn't just going to be just this randomness of sitcoms,
Yeah.
and this episode really drove everything forward.
Yeah.
So now going forward, I'm sure we're going to still see some like of these sitcom type stuff.
Yeah.
Which will drive the story, but we won't really understand probably where it's going to go again.
Yeah.
It's kind of a teaser, trying to make you think and guess, and that's how it's going to keep you involved and keep you captivated.
So I'm wondering now, we got this little break from the sitcom type scenario. Is next episode going to be back into the sitcoms, or is it going to be another kind of S.W.O.R.D. What's happening kind of deal?
I'm guessing we get an 80s sitcom next episode.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably get maybe a couple more episodes of sitcoms at most. We'll get one more for sure, I think. I think we'll get an 80s sitcom, or maybe two 80s sitcoms.
Yeah.
Maybe not even going to the 90s. I don't know. But I think they'll do that again just to develop these other characters. Because we don't know who... They were just saying these people were playing these parts.
That's awesome. Cast of characters.
Yeah, it was a cast of characters. And
so playing this cast member.
and some of them we knew who they were
good.
because, like, Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
But there were certain people there I had no idea who they were really talking about. Like, if they're actually characters who have been mentioned in the movies or anywhere else before that we maybe didn't pick up on. But
Well, and I didn't pick anything up just right then and there because we just watched it, obviously. So, maybe once I read a few more things, we'll have some more connections.
and go back on it and take a look and kind of we can check up on it.
You guys might be a little brighter out there and pick things up faster.
Yeah, some of you guys might know exactly who they're talking
Yeah.
about. Like right now, like I wasn't sure who a lot of the characters were.
Yeah.
But,
I feel like they're not anybody in particular special, but
yeah, at the same time when they were discussing it,
Yeah.
they kind of knew who they were. So
or yeah, they just did their reconnaissance and
maybe
figured it out, right? So
they could be absolutely nobody. They could be just people who lived in the area,
Mhm.
and maybe some of the missing people or
Oh,
who
very
knows what,
possible.
yeah. Any thoughts going forward?
Well, like I said, for me, I think that there's something further behind this. I think there's got to be some sort of baddie, and I've read a couple things. I've had my own theories as well of who I think they might introduce and who might be involved. I mean, this is purely speculation on my part. Because you're tying Doctor Strange into this, I mean, I can just say it out here, but you had a couple of bad guys like Mephisto. He's one of them. And then there's another one called Nightmare. So there's a couple guys like that who kind of are controllers of kind of dreams or minds. And, I heard one theory I heard someone was talking about Dormammu. You remember him from Doctor Strange? I don't know if I don't think that one doesn't seem likely to me, just because we've already seen him, and Doctor Strange took care of him. I think it'd be kind of weird to bring him back in.
But the rumor is also that Doctor Strange is going to be in this, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't be surprising actually.
That's possible. But Mephisto was someone that battled off Doctor Strange, and
As well.
and I
yeah.
think if I recall, it's been a while, but I think he might have had some dealings with the Avengers or Scarlet Witch / Wanda, right? So that's a possibility. I think there's got to be something controller, someone behind the curtain. I think there is. Has to be.
Well, you're a little bit more knowledgeable in the lore of Marvel, so I'll take your word on it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You heard it here first.
All right.
Yeah.
So going forward, it could be any number of people, any number of things. One thing's for sure, I'm sure we'll see the more sitcoms, and then we'll get a little more explanation as we go along, because 5 more episodes to go, I believe.
That's right.
And then we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one already.
It's starting to amp up now.
Yeah.
And I think people will be enjoying it a little bit more now.
Yeah. I'm invested, and I'm sure everybody else is out there now, especially after this episode. All right, that's episode 4 in the books. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you guys leave your comments, questions, and you've heard our fan theories. Now we want to hear yours. We'll make sure we reply back to you guys.
We have all kinds of future content planned out and coming your way, but if you have any suggestions, we'd like to hear your ideas as well. But until next time, it's Bolsey and Gator signing off.